All right, good morning. Good thing everyone's in their seat, otherwise Sherry would have to go get you. So, thanks for being here this morning. We feel like it was really a fantastic day, and we know that there's really a lot of good stuff to come. So, Suresh is just going to give us a few highlights from yesterday.
Thanks, Claudia. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to day 2. We had a great kickoff yesterday morning, thanks to Hansa Bhargava from WebMD. And as all you know, WebMD is a very reputed name in the digital health field, and it was great to hear from Hansa what kind of innovations and what their future roadmap is. We then had a great session moderated by Claudia, and thanks to James Wall, Albert Oriol, and Mickey Falken. So we learned how innovation practices are in some ways different, yet similar in various children's hospitals. The next session, thanks to Kristen Mallory, Albert Tassi, Fran Ayala, Somayajula, who reminded us that innovation is not limited to hospitals in North America and healthcare in North America, how it's very global. And thanks to Tom Porter for moderating that. We had a great session following that by Bruce Wilcox, who shared his journey and how he and his family use their personal story to advance healthcare, and I learned a lot more about primary ciliary dyskinesia after that talk. I didn't know much about it. Following that, we had 2 great presentations by Sharon and Yuan on food allergy and how to set up an innovation group. And I particularly liked Yuan's slide where she showed half of his team is externally grant funded and half of them are supported by the hospital. I think that's a great setup to have. And then we had a great session, thanks to Sarah Bartos. So we all know what G9 is, and it's amazing to have that, and September is coming up, so it was very timely. Then we had a great session on how collaboration can advance healthcare. So thanks to folks from St. Baldrick's and ACS, TJ Kerner, Becky Weaver, Melissa Northrop, Anya Clark, and to Sherry for moderating that session. Following which we had a good discussion on how industry and academia can collaborate, thanks to Clifford Goldsmith from Microsoft and Luca Brunelli from Utah for educating us on that. And then we had the experts, Anthony Chang, Tim Chow, talk to us about AI and eagerly awaiting Anthony's book on it. Thanks to Judy Dollins from the American Academy of Pediatrics, who gave us an insight on the clinical data registry, which is truly exciting. I'm fortunate to be a part of it, and can't wait for the day when we can say that we have a leading, a leading healthcare organization creating a database on all children in the US. That's our goal. Thanks to Noel Coleman and Jessica Morrow, who highlighted our partner sessions, and we learned about the consumerism initiatives from Doctor.com, as well as the wonderful work Jessica is doing through dimensional insights on how VR and AR can improve experience of children in hospitals. Thanks to Sharif Taraman, who moderated the abstract presentations, and we heard from 4 great youngsters as to what kind of work they are doing. And last but not least, Bryce Pyro. He made us cry. So totally not ashamed to say that, not a dry tear in the hall at that point. It was amazing to know how he's driven to get into not just med school, but into pediatric oncology and advance the science of oncology. Thanks to everyone.
All right, we've just got a couple more slides. So like we said, lots of good stuff yesterday, lots of great stuff today. Be sure you use our hashtag as you're getting out on social media. And, sorry. Again, thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. Really, yeah, thanks. Wouldn't be here without you, and really appreciate your partnership and collaboration. And our members, an important part of who we are. And with that, become a member. If you're not now, we'd love to have you join us. We have everything from student memberships, individual, disruptor, game changers, innovators. Come join us on our journey so that we can continue having these great meetings, having time for all of us to be together and learn together, and share ideas so that we can make things better for kids. And now, again, trying to get back to purpose, we have Ella Casano, who's going to join us. She is one of our kid innovators. You'll hear her entire pitch this afternoon because she's in the pitch competition. But right now, she's just going to come up and give us a little inspiration, get us fired up for the day. Ella?
My name is Ella Casano, and I invented MediTeddy. When I was 7 years old, my mom noticed that I was getting an unusually large amount of bruises. After her concerns were dismissed by numerous doctors, we finally found someone who would check my platelet count. I remember I was playing on the playground with my friends when the nurse called me down to her office to tell me that my platelet count had come back very low, and that they wanted to recheck it, just in case. But sure enough, it was low the next time too. And when I say low, I mean about 5,000. For those of you who don't know, an average adult's platelet count is anywhere from 150,000 to 450,000. That week, I was diagnosed with idiopathic thrombocytopenia purpura, or ITP. ITP is a platelet disorder, which means that without the medication that I receive through my IVs, my platelet count is dangerously low, and I have a high risk of bleeding. This means I can't play sports or participate in gym class, and sometimes even ride my bike. A year or two after being diagnosed, my ITP was upgraded to chronic ITP. To treat my ITP, since second grade, I've had to get IVs every 6 to 8 weeks, which take about 6 hours each. That's 6 hours with a tube in my arm and a bag of fluids over my head. I don't mind the needles. The nurses make so many wonderful efforts to distract us patients during that part. But the rest of the time when I'm sitting with a bag of fluids over my head and tubing everywhere, that's what I do mind. It's also what the adults don't realize patients mind. There's nothing that makes the fact that a child has to sit for hours on end with intimidating medical equipment all around them more bearable. Nothing, except for MediTeddy. I invented MediTeddy for my 5th grade invention convention, during which I ripped up a stuffed penguin in my room and turned it into my first prototype using a hot glue gun. MediTeddy is a stuffed animal IV bag cover, which ensures that the patient, rather than seeing a bag of blood or medication, sees a friendly face, while through the mesh back, the doctor and nurse can still monitor the medication. Each patient would get their own MediTeddy that they can take back and forth to the hospital, name, and bond with. We gave a MediTeddy to a girl in my school who has cancer, and she gave us wonderful feedback. Like everyone else, she hated the sight of the big bag of blood. When she received her MediTeddy, she was so relieved to not have to stare at that blood any longer. And she's not the only one who's given us feedback. We've received countless emails from parents with their own heart-wrenching stories, all who claim that MediTeddy is just the thing their child needs to brighten up their hospital experience, just like it brightened up mine. MediTeddy doesn't change the fact that us patients still have to go through this. It doesn't make it all good, but it does make us smile, and sometimes that's the most important thing of all. Thank you.